All right, folks, so we're back here in Cleveland at the Republican National Convention with our esteemed panel, David Swartlick, Rhonda Fahmy, as well as Jason Johnson. So I just interviewed Pastor Darrell Scott, and so and I kept asking him very specific questions. Where are the policies on HBCUs when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to jobs? And he says, we're tweaking them, we're working on them. That's a problem, Jason, is that this is a campaign, and Rhonda, you know we're not lying, is light on specifics, heavy on bumper sticker slogans.
Look, I got to tell you, I interviewed Pastor Scott a couple months ago. I call it just a root piece in search of the Church of Trump, okay? I lived in Cleveland for 10 years, had never heard of this brother before, and then suddenly when Donald Trump comes to town, he magically has a political transformation and is speaking this gospel, but can't tell us how Trump is going to help anybody. But we know how Trump may help him. And that's the problem. You've got black folk hearing this now, and they're like, all right, well, tell me how he's going to be a policy person for me, and all Scott can talk about is how he can personally benefit.
And Ron, look, I understand anger. I understand people saying transform Washington. There's got to be some specifics to this campaign.
So, I mean, I've heard this complaint about foreign policy as well. People are like, where is he going to be on foreign policy issues? One thing, I think you might hear some specifics on Thursday when he gives the big speech, okay? Because nobody wants to get out ahead of Donald Trump and start talking about his policies. Because frankly, I don't think they know. I think Donald Trump is the only one that knows. You might hear some specifics on Thursday. You might hear some specifics on Thursday. But I think Donald Trump might be playing a little political game here where he doesn't want to give too many specifics. He wants to ride the wave through November.
So last night, Republicans nominated behind curtain number 3, and we're going to find out. Okay, I'm just, hey.
Watch on Thursday.
But see, I mean, here's the deal. So for instance, I was at the National Charter School Conference. Okay, that's a layup for Republicans.
Right.
We were told, Trump campaign reached out to them. Their response was, we'll let y'all know after November.
And I wonder if they really will hear from them. Look, I'm going to go back. I know we've talked
after November.
Right.
Yeah, after he wins.
To me, the layup of layups was going to the NAACP convention in Cincinnati, 3 hours away, this previous weekend. Look, part of running for president, especially for someone who in swing states is polling at 0 among African-American voters, is showing up. Last night I heard Congressman Allen West, who I know was on your show yesterday, saying Republicans have to show up. Donald Trump was invited to NAACP. Forget about what he was going to say. Forget about policies. Show up.
But for me, this even goes beyond NAACP. I have heard little specifics on anything. That is troubling for somebody who wants to be president of the United States.
And I think it's also kind of lazy. I mean, look, I don't think this is complicated. Donald Trump is a smart man, obviously. He made millions. He's had a lot of different businesses, some successful, some not so successful. The fact that he can't even connect how those businesses could be applicable to regular people, that's the part that I find confusing, because he does have a story to tell, but if you've had a year and you can't get us to understand your story, there's some laziness.
I like how you said millions instead of billions.
Oh, yes. I was very clear about that.
The media and those of us that are political insiders want to see specifics, but the reality is the rest of America, they just want to hear what Donald Trump is saying, which is what? We're going to make America great again. And they like that.
You know what,
they like that.
Rhonda, if Americans out there are so dumb, if Americans are dumb to say, oh, all I want to hear is make America great again, this is not an advertising commercial. This is you want to be president of the United States. I need to trust that you know that you're going to do something and you can explain it.
And you know what? In the previous years in politics, we've all had specifics, okay? This is a different year, Roland. This is a different convention.
Right.
This is different election.
This is the year of being dumbed down.
You might not hear specifics, and this guy might win, and things are going to be different.
Even the brand
That's called scary as hell. They go keep talking. I got to go to a break, pay some bills. Back on News 19 TV, one in a moment.